In conclusion, it was apparent to us that our only option was to bring forth our information to the public and hope that they would join us and take action in bringing back justice to America.
I was contracted to produce this documentary in September of 2009. Based on the documents and material presented to me to be used in this documentary, I feel that it is imperative that the general public be made aware of the full extent of corporate corruption that General Motors has allegedly committed and gotten away with in recent years. The topics being addressed in this 10-minute segment cover only very lightly the level of fraud and laundering of money that has allegedly taken place. The facts speak for themselves, and the L.A.W.S organization holds the key to uncovering these alleged crimes. We must take action now. I feel that it is only right and just that America hears the truth. After all, we are the ones paying the ultimate price with our money in our country in the end.
Compare that to what is being asked of auto workers. First, give up your job. Move out of your community. Cut your wages. And your health benefits too. And oh, by the way, we want to go after your retirement benefits, even the widows and the retirees out of those firms. Meanwhile, AIG pensioners, well, they're alive and well. Their health care benefits are not threatened. Their counterparties are kept whole. While hard-working blue-collar America is squeezed dry, they're just as happy as clams. Right now, it's Wall Street versus the American people. Surely those that work hard and make things with their hands and end up with all the injuries to prove it, with bodily wear and tear, don't they deserve some regard? Don't they have some rights? For 3 decades in an auto plant, J.P. Morgan Chase, HSBC, Wells Fargo, and the rest of the high flyers up there on Wall Street, they want to deny these folks the right to their hard-earned benefits and wages. American workers built and continue to build America while Wall Street destroys not just capital, they destroy industries, they destroy communities, they destroy people's lives. Now we know, we can see who has that power, but that isn't what America was supposed to be all about. When you work hard and you build something real for the nation's might, you expect a fair deal. And that was supposed to be the American dream for the many, not just the privileged few. Today, a real industry, auto production, gets stomped on, chewed up, spit out because Wall Street robbed the kitty. They stole our hard-earned money and continue to beg, borrow, and steal from American citizens. Sales in business after business, including the auto industry, have gone down because the bailout recipients didn't make loans. Credit is frozen. People can't buy cars. The big three is suffering. So what does Wall Street do? It gets its friends. It shills on the op-ed pages and other media to shift the blame. So who gets the blame for the strangled auto industry? It's Detroit that's the problem? No, my friends, it's Wall Street that's the problem. And it's time that we put America back on its feet again.
The difference between the UAW to 30s and what we have now is they're not active. There's not really an activism about them. I think we need an activism, a more strong activism out of the UAW, and we're not seeing that. I don't. For so long, for like 20 years, most of these union officials in their adult life as a union official, they've enjoyed good times. I mean, it was like a lot of them were they take the summer off and they do a lot of golfing, and there's a lot of trips to Las Vegas, and there was a lot of it was a good life for a lot of them. But yet, it's all falling apart. And I became really active when that NAFTA passed, because I would push my union union officials, and I would ask them about what are they doing. I mean, I seen the writing on the wall, and back then, and I'm just a guy that worked on the line for 31 years. I seen it. I mean, I'm not. I'm sure there's people of a high intelligence in the UAW that had to see this too, and so where were they? How come they weren't? I went to Ross Perot rallies, and I didn't see hardly any union officials there. Very few people were there. And back in 2006, I believe, Cobo. We were up there in support of Delphi workers. I seen at Cobo, the Detroit Auto Show. It was media day, and we had I think 400 or 500 people there, and we had a rally in support of Delphi. And I was carrying a sign that said, "What happens to Delphi happens to Ford, GM, and Toyota." And the media would come up to me and say, "What do you mean?" Well, if Delphi goes, they're going to just like a domino effect. They're going to go after one right after another, and then when the UAW is gone, those Toyota workers and all those transplant workers, they're not supported by a union. There's no contract with those workers. They were represented by the UAW by default, and their wages are going to drop as fast, maybe faster, than what has happened to the UAW. And now we've seen that happen. So I think there needs to be some more activism here, and there needs to be a realization in the public of all those not finding blame with auto workers or unions, but of what the unions have done for the middle class workers all across this country. It's not. You shouldn't find blame with the auto workers or the unions. You should find blame with the leadership of this country and what they've done to our country. That's where the blame is to be had. Those people on the top, they're the ones that are promoting people like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck. Those guys are making huge amounts of money to promote the interests of the 1%, and they basically diverted the Tea Party movement away from the blame of the 1%. They're blaming everybody, Democrats and unions and everything. That's not the true blame there. Look where our country's gone over 15, 20 years. I mean, following the advice of those extreme right people, we followed them for 8 years of Bush, and was that good for the country? Well, no, we ran into huge debts. We got huge debts. We got they got us in wars that we shouldn't be involved with. I mean, is this good for our country? Now you got kids with college loans of $90,000, $100,000. And just look at the pilots, for instance. They got pilots working for $20,000, working at restaurants to make some extra money to make their college loan payments. Is that good for our country? Do you want to fly on a plane when you got some guy who is flying and he's working overtime and he's tired and he worked as a waitress at a restaurant to make ends meet? Do you feel safe on a plane like that? Who promotes policies like that? It's not the UAW, not the airline unions. It's the 1% that have hijacked our country against the 99% that are suffering because of what they've done.